Breaking news. The Chicago Bears pull off a shocking victory on the road. Final score, Bears 25, Raiders 24. And let me tell you, this one had everything. A blocked field goal in the dying moments by Josh Blackwell sealed the win, and Soldier Field might be miles away, but Bears fans everywhere are celebrating tonight. Chicago is officially back to .500 heading into the bye week, and this game was pure chaos. The Bears started shaky, then fought back, then looked unstoppable, and in the end, it all came down to one single play. And it was Blackwell stepping up as the hero, swatting away that kick, and saving the game. Before we jump into all the big details, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss the latest Bears breaking news. Let's keep the momentum going, Bears fans. Now, let's break it all down. This was more than just a win, it was a statement. The defense came alive with big takeaways. Kevin Byard was all over the field making history, Tariq Stevenson put on a show, and the new-look offensive line battled hard to protect Caleb Williams. This was Bears football at its most dramatic. The battle in the trenches told the story of this game. The Raiders came in with power, but the Bears' defensive front refused to back down. They clogged lanes, fought off blocks, and made every run a struggle. That's how fierce this matchup was, it left everyone breathless. Now, let's take a look at the numbers. The Raiders piled up 357 total yards, while Chicago managed 272. First downs? Vegas edged it 20-16. But here's the twist, when it mattered most, the Bears came alive. After a shaky start, they went 7-for-10 on third downs in the second half, compared to just 2-for-8 from the Raiders. That's resilience. Time of possession leaned Chicago's way, but mistakes still lingered. 8 penalties cost them 61 yards, a problem they'll need to fix. And of course, Max Crosby was everywhere. He was wrecking plays, knocking down passes, and even forcing turnovers in the first half. It felt like he was living in Caleb Williams' pocket. But here's where the Bears impressed: adjustments. At halftime, the coaching staff shifted protection schemes, gave Williams more time, and changed the flow of the offense. Suddenly, the game tilted. Crosby finished with just 5 tackles, proof that Chicago found answers when it mattered most. By halftime, the score stood at 9-4, far from ideal. But Williams? He kept the Bears alive. 4 straight games now with over 200 passing yards. Nearly 1,000 on the season already, a mark no Chicago quarterback has reached this quickly since Jay Cutler. The rookie is quietly rewriting history. Caleb Williams grew up in this game. The numbers don't tell the whole story: 22 completions on 36 attempts, 212 passing yards, just 9 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. On paper, it looks like an average day. But the truth is, his performance in the second half changed everything. After a frustrating first half with only 78 passing yards, Caleb adjusted. He trusted the play calling, made smarter reads, and added 140 more passing yards after the break. That growth, that mental toughness, is exactly what you want from your quarterback. And when the Bears needed a spark, he delivered. Williams found Rome Odunze in the end zone, the rookie wideout who is already making history. Odunze is now the first Bears receiver ever to score 5 touchdowns in the first 4 games of a season. That connection wasn't just a highlight, it was the moment that swung momentum back to Chicago. Credit also goes to the coaching staff. Ben Johnson and Declan Doyle shifted the entire game plan at halftime, and Williams executed with confidence. He calmed his teammates, changed plays at the line, and showed real leadership. This wasn't about flashy stats. It was about resilience. Chicago's offense started 0-4-6, but they refused to fold. They fought back, and their young quarterback proved he can adjust under fire. Confidence defined this Bears team today. Even when things weren't clicking early, players refused to quit, and that fight showed across the field. Take DeAndre Swift, for example. His first half was rough, nothing seemed to be working. But he kept pushing, kept looking for openings, and in the second half, his effort helped steady the offense. It wasn't a flashy performance, but it showed grit. The Bears finished with 272 total yards, 202 through the air, 70 on the ground, and only 1 sack allowed. That's a win in itself considering how dangerous Max Crosby usually is. Time of possession also swung their way, more than 33 minutes of control. But the real story? The wide receivers. Rome Odunze once again proved why he's special, hauling in 69 yards and the team's only receiving touchdown. DJ Moore chipped in with 38 yards, but every catch he made came at critical moments, keeping drives alive. Zay Jones, a true difference maker, racked up 41 yards, with every single grab moving the chains. He was basically a first down machine. Cole Kmet also deserves credit. With the tight end group thin due to injuries, he stepped up, pulling in 3 catches for 46 yards and giving Williams a reliable safety valve. Still, there are questions in the running game. Chicago's backs combined for just 49 yards. That lack of punch on the ground is something this offense must address moving forward if they want to keep defenses honest. But make no mistake, today, the receivers carried the load, and they carried it well. The Bears' running game was flat. Less than 3 yards per carry is simply not good enough in the NFL. Yes, Monangai finally found some rhythm in the second half, but overall, Chicago has to be better on the ground. The bye week comes at the perfect time, giving this offense a chance to reset, regroup, and fix what's broken. But let's give credit where it's due, the offensive line. That unit deserves the spotlight today. Theo Benedict started the game at right tackle and struggled against Max Crosby, and honestly, who doesn't? But when the coaching staff shifted him over to left tackle, everything changed. Suddenly, Crosby was contained, and Caleb Williams finally had the time he needed to make plays. Inside, Jonah Jackson, Drew Dalman, and Joe Thuney held strong in the trenches. They weren't perfect, but they gave Williams a fighting chance. And when Aziz Chillo stepped in, he rose to the challenge as well. This was a big test for Chicago's young linemen, and they showed they're ready to battle. That flexibility, moving parts around and still finding stability, could be a huge story for the Bears moving forward. Protecting the quarterback is everything, and today, after some early struggles, the line answered the call. As for the defense, what a roller coaster. They did a solid job bottling up Geno Smith through the air, but against the run, there's still a lot of work to be done. Geno Smith came into this game as one of the NFL's top passers, but the Bears' defense slammed the door shut. He finished just 11 of 18 for 98 passing yards, added 31 on the ground, and threw 2 touchdowns, but also 3 costly interceptions. 2 of those picks went to Kevin Byard, while Tariq Stevenson grabbed the other. For a quarterback who was red-hot entering Week 4, Chicago's secondary humbled him fast. And remember, this was done without key starters like Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, and Jalen Johnson. The adjustments by defensive coordinator Dennis Allen were spot on, and Stevenson continues to grow into a reliable playmaker week after week. Now, the concerns. Against the run, the Bears were gashed for 240 rushing yards. That number cannot continue if this team wants to compete deep into the season. With the trade deadline approaching, don't be surprised if Chicago looks to bolster its defensive front. The pass rush, too, remains a concern. The Bears now sit near the bottom of the league in sacks, and the absence of Grady Jarrett is being felt. Still, there were standouts. Tremaine Edmonds led the way with 9 tackles and 2 stops behind the line. Stevenson added 6 tackles, a pass breakup, and a fumble recovery on top of his interception. And Byard? Simply outstanding, 5 tackles, 2 pass deflections, and 2 interceptions that completely shifted momentum. This was the ball-hawking, opportunistic defense the Bears have been waiting for. Yes, the run defense needs urgent fixes, but the secondary proved it can change games. Chicago now heads into the bye week with momentum, sitting at 2-2 and preparing for a critical matchup against the Washington Commanders. A wild win, a roller coaster performance, and a statement to the rest of the league. The Bears are finding ways to fight back. Bear down.